This is Mike Johnson with the Sunbeam. I heard that you might want to get a bit of a status update about the Refit project, since the boat's about 25 years old now, and I just wanted to give you a little briefing on what we're going to do, and I'll give you a tour through the boat and show you section by section what we're hoping to accomplish. So the thesis of the Refit project is basically to gain access to the below deck areas. As you probably know, the steel boats will rust from the inside out, and a lot of those areas are difficult to access. So we have to rip out the entire accommodations section of the boat and sandblast the steel and put 2 coats of marine epoxy on the internal sections. And this is every nook and cranny. So unless you rip out the entire downstairs area, you're going to miss something, and that's going to haunt you for years to come. So in addition, when this is all done, it's a great opportunity to cosmetically upgrade the boat. There's a lot of dated equipment and dated cosmetics, and this is just a perfect chance to go through and just update everything. And this is probably about half the cost, or even less than half the cost of a new boat. So I think the boat's fundamentally sound and she serves us well, and I think this is the best choice going forward to get another probably 15, 20, even 25 years out of the boat. So we're going to take a little tour. I'm going to start down in the engine room, and I do want to mention that I'm no Steven Spielberg, but bear with me. Thank you. This is the engine room. We're going to start here and kind of move forward and move up. It's a little tight on the camera, but this is one of the generators here, and then on the other side is the other generator. Those are old and have about 15,000 hours on them, and they're fuel inefficient and noisy. So those are going to be replaced with 2 new Northern Lights model generators. This is the furnace here. That is due to be replaced. It's also inefficient and just getting somewhat unreliable. The main engine, which you can see a little bit of right here, that has been replaced at an earlier shipyard haul out time, so that remains intact. That's keeping the price of the project down somewhat. And then again, as I mentioned, the floorboards will be coming up, and this will all be sandblasted. You can get a little bit of the look at some of the corrosion down in here, and that's what's going to be addressed in pretty much the whole. This is the only area you can see the actual hull here, and I'm going to move in a little closer. You can see the corrosion that's starting. There's no major hull degradation, but we need to address it now before there is. This is from the engine room looking forward in the accommodations section. This will all be ripped out so we can gain access to the hull under these panels here. And then when it gets put back in, I'm going to go into the chaplain's stateroom. You'll notice these 2 bunks here. We're going to change things around with these bunks. We're going to put a removable bunk up top. We only use the upper bunk on just a very few times a year, and it's quite claustrophobic in these rooms with the top bunk permanently there. So that will be a big improvement, and we'll have a temporary bunk we can install if there's an overnight trip that requires additional accommodation. And we'll just get rid of some of this dated paneling in here and refresh new shelving, new carpet, and better drawer and locker space as well. This is the forward part of the accommodations section. Under the stairway here is the black water tank. That is a dated system, and that will have an entirely new, larger capacity system installed, so we can go much, much longer between pump outs. We can do it once a week instead of every couple days. And we'll go forward up into the laundry area. This is kind of a guest room. I apologize for the unmade bed, but this is a pantry and washer and dryer. Here we're going to put a stackable washer dryer in, better shelving, and we're going to move all this food to the upper level of the boat, to a new closet on the upper level, so Jillian, the steward, doesn't have to come up and down the stairs to get artichoke hearts. This is the salon, and this area is mostly going to receive cosmetic upgrades. The cushions and curtains are dated, and the floor. We've had quite a struggle with the floor over the years with rust developing underneath it. So we're going to pull the floor out and sandblast the substrate and put in a new item that's a poured epoxy flooring, and that doesn't allow any moisture to penetrate, and it also will significantly reduce engine noise since the engine room is right under this area. And I don't think I mentioned all the windows on the boat are going to be replaced. So there's 33 total windows. They're starting to fog up and get detritus in between the panes. So this is a good opportunity to take advantage of that. And there's some rust developing around the windows as well. And we're going to move over to the galley here. This area is getting quite a lot of work done to it. The biggest change here is this microwave oven above the range is going to be replaced with a food service exhaust fan. We've had a lot of trouble as we've been cooking more and more community meals on the boat. We just need to get the grease and smoke out of the boat. And this is a pretty complicated project because you can't go out through the hull for design reasons. So this exhaust has to route up through the pilot house roof, and that's quite a convoluted route. So the architect had to do quite a lot of design work to accommodate that. And this apartment style range needs to be upgraded, and dishwasher and wall oven, and just all new Formica. Again, the floor in here as well, the new larger galley window so the cook has a little better view, new sink, just generally cosmetic upgrades here that will just make the steward's job a lot nicer. Okay, we're going to go up into the pilot house. This area of the boat actually is probably receiving the least number of upgrades. I have a new electronics package that we're purchasing from Robert Cramp, and again, all new windows. There will be heated windows here, which we have a lot of trouble with freezing spray in the winter, so that will eliminate that problem. Again, wood grain paneling upgraded with a more modern look. Formica is stained and has a lot of holes. That will get upgraded. The helm chairs are starting to get ripped. They don't look it in the picture, but they have some problems, and we're going to upgrade those. But again, this has been somewhat upgraded over the years because it's front and center, but it's the downstairs areas that have been neglected. So that's pretty much it with the refit project.